Good day, Tesla fans. Welcome back to another FSD video. Been a little bit since I posted. Not much has kind of happened in the FSD space in a while since patch 4.4. There's been a couple 4.5, 4.6's videos spotted out in the wild, but nothing like a mass release. So I kind of held off, hoping I'd get that, but it seems to be, again, a really slow release. So we'll do the 4.4 video, which is the version I'm on right now. And yeah, nothing too complex. I just have an appointment way out in Shawville. This is Ottawa here. I'm on the Quebec side, so Gatineau. We're gonna take it all the way to Shawville. It's about a 43-minute drive. So come along, see how FSD does and where we're currently at. You can see how Tesla's getting much better at recognizing speed bumps. It's slowed down at each and every one of these speed bumps coming up, which is always nice to see from a comfort perspective as a driver. See, it slows right down to about 27, 26, which is, to me, that felt perfect. That was exactly what I would do as a driver. Perfect comfort speed. Bit of an awkward turn on that one. It put up the creeping wall of where it would go up so it could see both left and right, but the car coming from the right was trying to turn basically into our road. So it should have stopped and let that car complete its turn. Instead, it calculated, I guess, its trajectory and pushed out to that creep line, which I think would have made it uncomfortable for that driver. I would have loved to see it sort of wait instead of prioritizing that creep line. But I mean, it could be that it's trying to be more assertive. No, I was on average assertiveness mode. So yeah, it would have been nice from a comfort perspective for drivers and for traffic around us if it had not pushed out like that. But you know, nothing wrong. It's still no takeover required, no input, and off we go again. You can see with that one, with the car turning in front of our basic pathing, you can see the color change of priority for the Tesla. It came in our path, it turned black as in like it's in our path, and then it turned blue as in it's watching it and calculating it, but it calculated properly. No slowdown, nothing, no slamming on the brakes. Obviously that would have been terrible. It just let the car go and it continued on its way. Perfect to see. So you can see stop sign here, stops here. It needs to be able to see left and right. Feels comfortable with it. Good to go. No issues on that right turn whatsoever. Perfect right turn. Perfectly smooth, perfect speed. It's really getting good at these turns, I'll give you that. So in this specific situation, it doesn't matter, but I would have loved to see it push a little to the left, right up against the kind of yellow line there, which would have allowed a car behind us, if it needed to turn right, to come beside us. Kind of like a common courtesy thing. Not a safety thing at all, and I understand completely, right? Safety first, and then speed and comfort comes after that with beta testing. But in the future, it'd be nice to see if it could distinguish that situation where it comes up to an intersection, calculates that two cars could fit, and out of just, you know, being nice, a nice computer, shift over to the left to allow for the potential of a car to come to the right. Again, like I said, not the primary concern, just something I like to see. Straight to the Nice right-hand turn lane there. Recognized that it had a turn coming up. It right after that traffic light, you could see that it started to look. The gap wasn't there. You know, carried on, didn't slow down, didn't impede traffic behind it, and then waited for its gap. It was good that it was so early that it decided to make that lane change. I've seen it so many times now where it waits until the last second, so it looks like the updates are coming along, making it a lot more smooth, for sure. I would say right now my biggest gripe with FSD as a whole is the merge lanes, specifically like what we just saw, and we see it a lot more on highways. When you merge on the highway, it waits until the very end of the merge lane to get into the other lane, right? So there's cars behind us that know we have to merge, wanting to maybe go faster speed than us or whatever, and they're waiting, and they're, you know, kind of like, get in here, and we wait to the very absolute end. And apart from that, just from a comfort perspective as a driver or operator of FSD or whatever, it's like this butt clenching moment every time. You're kind of like, is it gonna do it? Is it just gonna drive, keep going? I mean, it does follow the line eventually, but come on, FSD, you gotta like look for your gap. You gotta anticipate this merge coming up and move over, please. I've had one incident so far out of all my FSD experiences since the full stack version 11 happened, where it started doing this wait to the very end merge maneuver, where it did just keep going. So now, because that's happened, every time now I'm concerned and not relaxed in every merge situation. It seems like a simple fix, just anticipate the merge, see it ahead of time, move over while you have the gap. Like, what if another car was beside me? What's it gonna do when the lane ends? I haven't come across that situation, but just completely eliminate that situation. If the gap's there, move, please. So you can see that every, I don't know, 30 seconds, wheel nag prompts to make sure I'm still paying attention. It's a safety thing. It's a good thing. I have noticed, however, not only does the prompts go up if it feels in complex situation, construction especially, if it starts seeing construction cones, it really ramps up the wheel prompts. But you hate to do it, but the solution that I found, because there is a camera right above the rear view mirror here that is actively watching my eyes, and if I'm looking away, I especially notice if I'm just kind of looking around at the scenery, it really throws up more prompts to get me to pay attention. But the solution that I found is these guys, sunglasses. So when you put on sunglasses, the camera is unable to watch your eyes anymore, and it recognizes that. So what I've noticed is that the wheel prompting nags go down drastically if you're wearing glasses. So just from a comfort level, as somebody who's using FSD, you hate to see it, but you gotta put on the sunglasses just so you're not there constantly nagging the wheel. Little quirks of FSD that I've found out. And I guess on that note, it's a good time to mention that I'm coming up on about a year now of FSD usage. So yeah, I think after a year I'm gonna make a video basically encapsulating what a year is, a basically review of FSD after a year, and kind of all the quirks like the sunglasses, what I'd like to see, you know, merge lanes, things like that. Just a generalized video of where we're at with FSD, with my experience anyways, here in Canada, here in Quebec, Ottawa, things like that. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, all that good stuff. That video should be coming up soon. I don't know if it'll be the next video, but it's definitely in the works. You can see that again, my sunglasses are off now, or on now, sorry, and the wheel nagging is it feels non-existent. It's still going to pop up from time to time, obviously, but yeah, drastically less wheel nagging. I know Elon Musk did mention in a tweet that he would like to see, or he agreed on someone else's tweet, that, you know, after you've reached a certain amount of miles, kilometers driven with FSD, the wheel nag should be taken away, which I agree with. I mean, at this point, I understand the system. I understand that I need to always be paying attention. Yes, my hands aren't on the wheel because of, you know, I'm filming, you know, and my viewers need to know that I am not putting input in. This is the car driving itself. So that's why the hands are off. But when I drive without it, without filming, you know, my hands are, you know, resting here, or, you know, over here on the left because I'm changing songs or turning up and down volume, things like that. But for the sake of the video, they're off. But yeah, it would be nice to see, to get this wheel nag removed eventually. I mean, eventually it will happen, but sooner than later would be nice. What a beautiful view, honestly. It's a good time to mention that one of the great advantages on FSD is that it's good and pretty consistent no matter where you drive it. So yes, it's FSD, yes, it's in beta. You know, it's not as good as a human driver in the sense of smoothness and reaction to situations yet. So in roads that you take often, let's say your morning commute that you take every day and you have on FSD, its sort of shortcomings, if you will, are blatantly obvious and more noticeable, because you know, subconsciously even are like, oh, I would take this turn at this speed, I've done it a million times, this is the safe way to do it. Whereas FSD, it's like, okay, you know, this is an intersection, this is the speed I hit every intersection, this is how I treat every intersection. And yeah, there's some adaptation, but yeah, for the most part, it's consistent across the board. Now, situations like this, where I have never taken this route, I have never driven on this road. So the first time I drive somewhere, I'm going to be a little bit more hesitant, more safe, slower, not as confident as a driver. Nice situation here. I like that it slowed down a little bit for that. But anyways, in a road like this where I don't know where I'm going because I've never been here, it is just as confident and smooth here as it is on my daily commute situations, which is nice. I mean, I don't think that gets a lot of attention. Everybody's driving the same route and taking the same turn over and over again and being like, where are we at with this one turn and this one route? But situations like this is where it really shines, in my opinion. That was nice to see too, that oncoming truck had a parked car kind of in its lane a little bit, so it had to move over. Tesla saw that, anticipated it, and moved over for that truck. Ever so slightly in that situation, but it did do it. I did feel it. That's great. Little behaviors like that, little tweaks, little human touches, if you will, feel great and make FSD feel smooth and like an actual human driver. And I have noticed as patches go on, you start to see these little quirks added in. It's fantastic to see it. It feels great. Yeah, and obviously more are going to come. More quality control things and just comfort uses is coming each patch. Yeah, you love to see it. So we are getting like trucks passing us. We obviously are keeping to the speed limit. I keep to the speed limit during these tests to give FSD the best chance to perform. It would be unfair if I'm like, okay, go do 110 and a 90, and oh my god, you messed up. Why did you mess up, FSD, right? So I do keep it at these speeds. When I drive normally without filming for you guys, then I do crank the speed up, and it's simple. You just scroll the wheel, right? I tell it to do 100 and a 90. Now it's doing 100 and a 90. So I'll bring it back down, give it every chance possible to perform well. You can even do it in the options. Where are we here? Autopilot. You can do the speed limit offset. It goes by percent. So I can switch it to let it go 5%, 10%, 15% above the speed limit at all times. So when it first sees, let's say it's going 70, it sees a 90 speed limit, it'll do the 10% over, for example. So again, we have a sign here that says our lane is going to merge. So it's going to take, yeah, up until the last second. Okay, so it wasn't one of those merge lanes that hard lines and hard switches. It just was a soft merge, I guess you could say. So I performed perfectly in a soft merge situation like that. Now, I wish it performed that smooth on every merge. This is another point that I've been thinking about a lot lately, is that the range on what FSD can see in front of it is about, I mean at the space here, this kind of square that you can see, is about 150 meters in front of it. Obviously much less behind it. But within that 150 meters in front of it, the software is basically superhuman, highly reactive. Like if you could imagine yourself as a human driver and you had these kind of horse blinders on where you can only see this far, you would not be able to react at the speed that this system does. It's great. The problem with that is that a lot of driving is reactive to past the 150 meters. So you and I can see this blue car in front of us that we've been behind for a while, but it is outside the range of this kind of 150 meters range of FSD. And you can tell it's about 150 meters, right? You count the power line poles, each one's about 50 meters apart, right? And you can just see that when cars pop up in and out of view, that it's about 150 meters. So what if this blue car in front of us did something that I needed to react to quickly, or I needed to adapt, I needed to you know, get off the road or change onto another road, alter my path. You know, FSD wouldn't be able to do that until it got within the 150 meter range. A more practical example of that is when you see construction down the road. And you're like, oh, okay. Like sometimes it's just open space and you can see construction, you know, a kilometer away, and you can see cars backed up. And you have this time to kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, get off here so I don't have to deal with this traffic, or whatever situation. Again, FSD has this seemingly hard distance, 150 meter range that it can see. So I would love to eventually see it expand that range. It's field of view, if you will, like a computer game, a field of view slider. Now obviously that's going to depend on compute power and camera abilities and angles and stuff like that, but I would very much love to see that happen eventually, so that it just has more information, can react better to the situations around it. Now I understand right now, let's get, you know, this bubble working perfect and then think about expanding the bubble out. I get it, but again, just another point that I would like to see, and something to note for people who are interested in FSD on kind of what its current capabilities are and limitations.
To the...
All right, well, on board. Let's run an experiment here. Right, we started at 11:42. I'm wearing glasses. Let's see how long it takes for a wheel prompt, and then we'll try it without the glasses. Not very accurate testing here, but. Any Canadians here ever drive out on the prairies on the Trans-Canada highway there? They have these sort of lane markings or signs, because you can tell people are just bored driving in a straight line across Canadian prairies, that kind of mark you know, accurate distances between each other, so you can judge your kind of calibration of speed, your speedometer, on how far you're actually going. Yeah, that'd be a perfect way to test that if we had something like that here, which we don't. Maybe if I have any viewers in the prairies, you guys could run the sunglasses test. So we're still at 11:43. There we go. So it's been roughly a minute. Here we go. I'm gonna take the glasses off and see how it runs with my eyes, that it can see my eyes. Maybe we'll do 2 cycles of that, because maybe it takes a cycle to see my eye. Yeah, look how quick that was. Okay, so there, we'll start that one officially. Yeah, see, look at the time between the wheel prompts now that my glasses are off. There's a lot more wheel nags now. Yeah, look at that. And then put the sunglasses back on, and we'll wait a cycle, and we'll see. Yeah, already it's gone past what it was without the glasses. That's crazy. That is a massive difference. Like 3 times, 4 times the length of time between wheel nags if you have glasses on. Interesting. We're above a minute now, whereas before it was like 20 seconds. Yeah, look at it go. I mean, that confirms it. Yeah, see, finally getting it. I feel like that was over a minute. Be able to see it once I edit it, post-processing, and then I'll leave kind of the times that I got in between each ones, once I kind of have a time scale bar to kind of go off of, more accurate. So I'll put it somewhere on the bottom. But anyways, yeah, I mean, that confirms it. You put sunglasses on, you get way less wheel nags. Another neat sort of observation on the FSD visualization here on the screen is the blue line, also known in the community as the tentacle. The length of the tentacle and how solid colored and blue it is, at least in this iteration. I'm sure the visualization will change over the years here, but with current visualization, the length of the blue line indicates confidence. It's almost like a confidence scale. So right now it's full range blue all the way. It is fully confident in what it's doing. Once it gets into more complex situations, you'll see the blue tentacle line either start, jiggling around like a snake, like a tentacle, or the blue line will recede back, at least the solid blue line like this, and then everything past it will be a smaller, lighter colored blue. So you'll notice that in these situations. Obviously right now we got nothing complex happening, so full confidence. But you'll see in other videos, and maybe if you go back videos or videos moving forward, you just kind of keep an eye on it. It's neat to kind of see when it's having issues. You can see it when it's thinking or overthinking or underthinking or whatever is going on just by watching this tentacle line. And I notice myself, if I'm driving with FSD and out of the corner of my eye I see the tentacle line start to go like that, I'm really ready to take over, because its confidence isn't there. It's highly confused. Yeah. So in situations like this, you can relax a lot more. But in situations where it's all over the place with the tentacle, or the confidency blue is way low, then dial back your relaxation, be more attentive. It's just a neat kind of quirk of FSD that I've noticed. Right here we can see the the truck in front of us is right at the limit of its range. And if you count telephone poles here and power lines, you can see it's about 150 meters. You could probably go a little bit further to be that 150 meters, but yeah. Now whether you see whether it displays it and that's its limit, or it does see it but doesn't display it, like obviously the visualization isn't the end all be all of what FSD sees. Obviously there's a lot going behind the scenes. This is just what it's able to show. In the end, this doesn't really matter, but what we do have to go on, it really does seem like 150 meters is the limit. All right, well, I mean, that's that drive. That was zero input, zero intervention. We're here now at our destination. Yeah, I'll probably do a quick video on the way back, super sped up, just for completion of the trip. But that was fantastic. It wasn't the most complex situation, yeah, but I mean, zero input at all, to the point where I was bored and I was doing sunglasses tests, right? Yeah, great. That's where FSD is at right now. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. See you on the next one. All right, so that's it for my appointment there. Now, just for the sake of completionism, we will film the ride back. Hopefully it's just a simple drive and this whole thing is just a fast forwarded event. But yeah, we're just going home. It's about yeah, another 55-minute drive. Off we go.
Straight to the
It's starting to rain a little bit, enough for the auto wipers to start kicking on now. FSD unaffected. I mean, it's just a drizzle, but yeah, carrying on.
To the straight to the to the to the brain. Straight to the brain. To the brain.
It was interesting there. There was a hill to go up, and the Tesla went over the speed limit on its own to get up that hill. It's like it anticipated before the hill even started that it needed the momentum to get up without drastically changing the speed limit. That's pretty interesting. You felt the G-force before the hill. Yeah, new behavior for me. Yeah, same thing on that hill there. Acceleration going up around it. Here we have a bicyclist. It slowed down for the bicyclist, then saw that the other lane was free, and then went around the bicyclist, giving plenty of room. That is also nice to see. I would assume if there was another car, not assume, I know, if there was another car in the lane, it would not have crossed the yellow line. But it's nice to see that if given the chance, it's able to use that space. Would love to see that expanded in a lot of other driving situations. It's interesting on that one. So before it was a bicyclist, and it slowed down and then gave room, including crossing the yellow line around the bicyclist. But that time we had just a pedestrian going for a run. So its reaction there was to slow down for the pedestrian, but not to give it enough room. So it's interesting to see kind of the differences between the behavior of on a bike versus a human, just running, I guess, in that situation. Two different scenarios, two different reactions. Here's an interesting situation. Got a wide load house. Let's see if it gives any space or anything for that. No reaction. I guess it wasn't wide load enough that it was crossing into our lane. But I have noticed when it's like a semi truck that even on oncoming traffic, the Tesla gives it a little bit of room around it. And then even if you're passing a truck, let's say on a highway, or it's passing you, the Tesla will also give that extra room for the truck. But in a scenario like that, it didn't, even though it's arguably much wider than a truck. So again, two different situations, two different behaviors. Yeah, interesting. So again, a slowdown for a pedestrian on the side of the road. I wonder if it's a speed thing, like once over a certain amount of speed, if it sees a pedestrian that slows down. Because like you're doing 50, I don't really notice that behavior, but I was doing 70 there before it was doing 80 or 90. It had that behavior. Yeah, I wonder if it's a speed thing attached to it. Very interesting last minute lane change that it decided to do there. Not sure why it felt the need. I mean, you still have 2.4 kilometers before you turn. So why the aggressive lane change like that? For whatever reason it decided, it did it safe. Just interesting. Wow, yielded for the bicyclist even. Impressive, very impressive.
Straight to the
Wow, okay, well, I mean that's it. That's the trip. End to end. Almer Gatineau to Shawville, I believe it was. Flawless. I mean, absolutely flawless. No input, no takeover, nothing. And it did it perfectly. I mean, these trips are becoming more and more constant for me. You can definitely tell in the improvement. But even I am still super impressed with where we are on FSD. And I mean, just from a year, the improvement has been amazing. I can't wait to see what it looks like in another year. It's getting scary good. But yeah, there it is. Flawless drive, zero intervention. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
to the brain.